We'll start off as always from the shortcuts module. This is where you'll be able to access our module, which is called Trackview. Once you're in the module, it will load all of the data of your GPS units attached to your fleet for your particular database. In this particular example, we've just got test data of some of our employees' vehicles, and it will allow you to see any particular information as a bubble item that will say whether the vehicle has been immobilized or parked or driving, which is more of a status bubble against the actual equipment itself. So as these are both parked at the moment, they're both just in black for offline because ignition isn't turned on. Then you've got the trips tab at the top, which will show all of the captured violations that have happened through the camera footage on the vehicle. So filtered for the last few days, we have got footage from a couple of vehicles. So if I go to this view, it's got what the name of the asset is, the start date on where the footage began and where it ended. The duration is just the amount of time between the start and finish of the drive. The distance is the distance covered through the GPS data calculated, and then the events is how many events have been picked up from that trip. So if I go to this particular item here, which is from the 12th of December, you'll be able to click into show trip or request footage. Request footage would be if you witnessed an accident on your trip in and you want to pick a particular time frame that wasn't a trapped violation or incident, then you can put a particular start and finish and it will capture that information into a video basically, or a short clip. It'll also highlight what the violation types are within the video as well. So in this case, there's 7 traffic speed violations. If I click into this one, you've got 4 cornering, 2 tailgating detected, and 2 distracted driving. Same again with this one, you've got different items picked up. So depending on settings of your cameras as well, the tolerance may differ based on the different vehicle types. But if I click into this one here and go show trip, it'll show you the trip in its entirety for that particular trip. So it'll show where the trip started and where it ended, and then along the trip will be the violations and where they occurred. So if I go to here as an example and zoom in, it'll show that the harsh cornering was on this particular intersection and the harsh acceleration was at this particular part in the road. I can also click into the item and see what actually occurred on that particular trip. And if I go back, I'll be able to get to all the rest of them. Requests is where I said before, if you do a DVR, which is a direct video request for a particular area of a particular trip that you're wanting to show interest to, that's where those requests would be visible. So that covers off the location and trips section. Then you've got the Telstra trackers. So that will show where all of them are located on a map view, and an area where you can filter by those particular units. Again, it's just a dot on a map, but that is in most cases all people require. Then you've got events, which will bring up a section similar to where we were before in trips, but as a total view. So a nice little dashboard, which will show all of them in one view that you can just flick through them and filter by particular events as well as particular vehicles. Live status will give you information on the actual vehicles themselves. So its current odometer as an example, what the main power is, what the battery. So these are for the GPS units installed directly into the vehicle as opposed to the cameras. It'll also show serial number, what the reason is on the last recording, whether the ignition's turned on or off, and its current location. Then you have got a list of equipment that you'll be able to click into to view any information on those equipment, which are the items that are being tracked. And then lastly, you've got geosites. So you can set a geolocation on a particular site or spot on a map, which will then track an entry and exit on that particular location. So Be useful for if you want to track how long your trucks are spending in particular yards or disposal locations or whatever, to have a polygon area of the site in which they are driving into, so you can then track how long they've been within that location. So it's set up from a project or a company or site. So from here in Geosites, you'll be able to click into the existing areas and see where has been mapped. So if I look at this, there is, for this company, one site location that has been tracked. So that'll be test on the 30th of the 8th is the name, but it would obviously be the site name, what we want to track, and what the dwell period we're wanting to track. So that's if it's been on a particular site for longer than 30 minutes, we want to track that as an exception, so to speak. The actual polygon mapping itself is done through the polygon editor that we've got. So if I hit new, that'll be a particular new site against this particular project. I do want to monitor for entry and exit, and I want to map it to 15 minutes. Once I click add geofence, it will open up the map, and I will be going to where I want to plot on the map. And anywhere in this particular estate, I want to track an entry and exit. So I'll start my polygon here and draw around that whole location. That will then complete that polygon, and you'll hit save polygon to save that. So now, as mentioned, whenever any of your trucks will enter this particular estate or area, it will track an entry time and an exit time. Then the geosite reports will be something that you can report on for vehicles that have entered into that area. So if you wanted to track particular vehicles or start periods and only show dwell exceptions or include all data, then you can run reports and it will show a list of items relevant. So it would just come up with a report here if there was any found, where the site that it's the search criteria has found the vehicle within, the driver of the vehicle, the entry time, exit time, and then the total dwell. If you require us to set this up for you, please let us know and we can assist. Other than that, there are options, but consulting with our team will assist you in setting this up, and for the most part it will be a set and forget. That covers everything. If there's any questions or concerns, let me know.